Hi, I am Allie Camilletti, and you are listening to Snack Leadership. I will be talking about everything leadership, broken down into bite-sized pieces. You will hear what different leadership skills look like in organizations and how they can rise teams up or take them down. I help leaders build resilience and improve performance by bringing awareness to opportunity behaviors in my business. Spark your mindset. I provide leadership and sales coaching, as well as team building and guest speaking. My hope is for you to feel inspiration and to create a spark in your mindset. Hi everyone, today we are talking about ambition. Ambition is an earnest desire for some type of achievement or distinction. So when I was talking with Shannon about the topic of ambition, we had kind of talked about how it was crazy when I started Googling it. It was a dirty word. And one of the interesting definitions that I found was an eager desire for social standing, fame, or power. And I consider myself an ambitious person. So when I read that, I was like, ooh, maybe I'm not ambitious. And so I had to really kind of look at myself and be like, then what am I if I'm not ambitious? Am I just motivated? I don't know. But I think in the end, I am ambitious. But for me, it's not about the social standing. It's about the life that I want to have while I'm here on earth, because I learned at a very young age that your time is not always chosen and it can be very short. And so it's up to you on what you want to do with it, what kind of mark you want to leave on this world before you go to the other side. And so ambition is something that I've always had. And I would say we're going to dive into this Better Health article on what is the difference between blind ambition and ambition. And I have a pretty good pulse on that. And I'll share a little bit more as we get into it. But for me, my ambition at the start, I really do feel it was my desire to prove to others that look what I can do. And I did not come from an environment where I was set up to necessarily have big achievements. I was very lucky. I had my grandparents in my life, but my parents were young. They were 20 years old raising me. And so I didn't have that support nowadays that you see that can support what ambition looks like. And so for me, it was, look at what I can do. I'm going to prove to you that I can succeed and what that looks like. And it wasn't until towards the end of the first business I had with event planning that I saw that, oh, whoa, I am just trying to prove something. And now I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do it for me and for my life that I want to have for me. And at that point, I was back here in Bend, and Bend supports the lifestyle that I love. And so it was very natural to shift into that. So with the article from BetterHelp, they talk about, in general, ambition refers to a drive toward success, right? That typically involves focused will and energy. Meanwhile, blind ambition can be characterized as desire without clarity, preparation, or direction. While ambition can often help you achieve your goals in a healthy way, blind ambition can lead to various issues, such as confusion, irrational behavior, and poor choices that may affect yourself or others negatively. It can possibly lead to unnecessary and potentially unhealthy stress levels as well. Maintaining a healthy level of ambition can involve journaling, meditating, using tools like goal-setting apps, and working with a licensed therapist. Anymore, we can do that online or in person. We have so many resources. The gift that came from the pandemic, right, is now that we do have a little more remote resources. So they go into what is ambition? Let's break it down. It can drive you toward success. It is generally viewed as the desire to achieve a goal that requires work, focus, and determination, right? My first business, event planning, I was driven, I was focused, and I was determined. Watch me. And it was specifically towards my family. And then my family didn't really participate. I was doing large events in our community, and they really didn't come to the events or express any interest. And so that's where I was like, "What are you doing, Allie? Why are you doing this?" And I really evaluated what I wanted to do moving forward. So without ambition, there may be no aspiration to achieve. So your dreams may never lift off the ground. On the road to success, ambition can help you through the rough patches and keep you focused on the goal ahead. So if you strive to achieve power, fame, wealth, or honor, people may be likely to consider you ambitious. I don't care about power. Fame? No. I kind of like to hide in the background, the introvert in me. It's just the way I am. Wealth? I have a certain amount I want to make, but that's so I can retire because I love to travel. Honor? Nah, whatever. I don't think I really care. Not to be harsh, but I don't really focus too much on what other people think anymore. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. So it takes a bit more than desire and necessity to take on an ambitious goal. And for many people, the word ambition can have a broader meaning. Ambition can also be about energy and focus will. When someone is ambitious, they tend to do what it takes to achieve. I will say I do what it takes to achieve. Yes. I'm not one to give up at all. So what is blind ambition? Blind ambition can involve blind desire, drive, and focus. But what does that really mean? As individuals strive to succeed, there may be many times when their desire to achieve can override their sense of right or wrong. For example, someone with blind ambition may turn a blind eye to deceit, or they might stop taking care of themselves to reach a goal. That may be why those who work toward a goal with blind ambition can sometimes be their worst enemy. So when you're working toward achieving your goals, life can be full of choices that may bring you closer to or further from your goals. To succeed and achieve your dreams on your terms, it can be important to keep your eyes open and your head clear. So I will say I could have gone down the route, and blind ambition, I'm still kind of understanding this concept as well, is I could have gone to a place of unhealthy desire. At a certain point, I would say it was in 2023, I had set a goal of I was going to start doing keynote speaking, and I wanted to write a book. Those two kind of went hand in hand. And then I really started to assess what that looked like. What did I want to speak about? And my topics that I wanted to speak about were not in the industry I'm already in. So then I realized this is going to be like starting a whole new business. And I evaluated my life. What's my life like now? Do I want to start a whole new business? I know what it takes to start a business. It's not easy. And that's when I made a change. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on the business I have. I'm going to be really solid with that and the clients that I serve. And I'm going to allow myself to have this time with my daughter because it's going to go fast. And I know this. And as we're recording this, she's about 6.5. And I didn't want to miss that time. Putting all this energy and effort into building a whole nother business and then traveling more? No. Writing a book? That'll eventually come. It will. So, blind ambition can be defined as a desire without direction, clarity, and preparation. I had to get really clear with myself on what that preparation was going to look like. And then I was like, no. But it can create confusion, support bad choices, and make the process of achieving an exercise in irrational behavior. So let's talk about the difference between ambition and blind ambition as we compare them to each other. They can often be how you get from point A to point B. Everyone generally has life goals and dreams they want to fulfill. And how you fulfill those desires is often as important as reaching the goals themselves. Ambition may be at the heart of every life journey. And there can be a lot to learn as you work towards your goals. Blind ambition, on the other hand, is typically nothing but a wild race towards the result, regardless of the events and experiences along the way. That's just not how I roll. Like, I will really dig in and look at something I want to do. So let's use the example of keynoting. I could have just pushed and like come up with presentations and done them in my industry, but my passion wouldn't have been there. I can always find passion. I can always do it, but it wouldn't have been how I like to do things. And I'm kind of funny that way. I don't like to do them how anybody else does them. It's just who I am. So ideally, your career and your dream should bring you happiness. And that's what was happening. I was like, I don't think this is going to make me happy. I'm a little tired as it is. I'm going to even be more tired. And I'm probably going to be resentful that I'm doing this and I'm not able to do the other things with my daughter that I want to do. So if chasing your ultimate goal makes you miserable, it may be time for a change. Life is not usually about arbitrary achievements. It's more about changing, learning, and making a difference in the world around you. I know the biggest difference I can make in this world is putting a super healthy human into this world, because that will affect so much for so long. So the focus of healthy ambition should generally be on you and the lives you touch. Blind ambition can make it difficult to see those around you and understand how you affect others or the world, since a person may be too focused on reaching their destination. They may experience inattentional blindness to the beauty of the journey along the way. I gotta say, it's been a little bit of a topic for me lately, blindness. I do this river walk, jog, depends on what I'm in the mood for, every morning, because I follow Huberman's advice of you need to be in sunlight the first 30 to 60 minutes of when you wake up. And sunrises are my favorite, especially around the water. There's so much beautiful nature. And one of the things I've been noticing is nobody looks up. I'm always looking up because I have a little bit of a love for bald eagles. If you've walked with me, you know I'm always looking for them. And this time of year, they're around. Now we're recording a little bit earlier than this is going to be released, but usually January, February, they're out the most. So look up. That's my advice to you. Look up. Moreover, blind ambition is not always mentally or physically healthy. The choices you make when blinded by ambition can affect more than just your financial situation or your position of power. In fact, they can make you sick because they often cause stress. I will go off to the side a little bit on this one because one of the things that I truly believe in, and we know that the base of what I do comes from a sales place, and sometimes I'll work with companies and I will see them trying to cut costs in sales by not giving sales teams the tools that they need to be successful. You work so hard, you spend money marketing, getting those calls to come in, you want to set them up to succeed. But if you're so focused on the dollar and you're cutting corners and not spending money on the tools, that is not healthy. And that can ruin your company. And it'll cause extra stress to your employees. They won't want to work for you either. They'll leave. Stress can be harmful. We know this. It may go undetected for years, potentially putting you at risk for issues like high blood pressure and heart attacks. Decisions to put your health on hold or put off a much needed break are usually decisions made by blind ambition. Ambition itself will generally not make you sick, but ignoring yourself and your needs can contribute to illness. That may be when ambition comes blind ambition. Sometimes talking to someone about your life goals and your ambition can help you make better decisions. There can be more than one way to get things done, and an outside perspective can shine a light on other options. Blind ambition can make it difficult to see problems that need to be addressed and understand how destructive your choices can be to your life and the lives around you. However, it may never be too late to change your path to success. Even small changes can make a big difference. Life, love, and the pursuit of achievement. Blind ambition normally has no place in a happy, well-balanced life. When you live life to the fullest, you may enjoy the road to success. And when you have healthy, happy relationships, you may make good choices for yourself and your loved ones. It can be important to get where you're going, but life may not only be about the end goal, it may also be about the pursuit. So the pursuit of achievement is not always separate from the pursuit of love and happiness. Life may not only be about obtaining your dreams and desires, it can also be about learning and gaining wisdom. When you chase your dreams and focus on nothing but the goal, you may miss out on the experiences that make life worth living. Furthermore, chasing your dreams and achieving your life goals often requires more than stamina, willpower, and inspiration. It can also require planning. It may not always be possible to plan for every twist and turn that awaits you on the road to success, but it can also be possible to plan alternate routines and scenic diversions, right? Like my business, what was I? Maybe 6 years into my business when the pandemic happened, if I did the math. And at the time when it happened, I was like, oh, I get a break, right? That was a big twist and turn. My business stopped for like a year and a half. And it was about how I handled it. I was like, all right, I'm going to play outside with my daughter, take the maternity leave I never had, and then jump back into it ready. And that's when I started this podcast, was during the pandemic, so that I could still feel connected and get my voice out there when I wasn't doing conferences. So how do you maintain a healthy level ambition? I'm going to say mindfulness, always mindfulness. But it's trying to find balance. It can be helpful to understand the progress you want to make and stay focused, but know that everything doesn't have to be about your goals. It can be okay to take a break or make time for yourself and your loved ones. So if you're struggling to find balance, or if you have tough decisions to make, it can be helpful to seek advice. I'm a big fan of therapy. The therapist I've been with, probably 8 years. I adore her. Sometimes we're talking about being a parent. Other times we're talking about family dynamics. But I always have something I can talk to my therapist about, and I always value everything that she can offer to me. You can also journal, keeping your goals and ambitions that way. I have an interesting way of how I do it. I'm sure everybody does it a different way. So for me, I do an annual get together with one of my close friends, Shelly, and we outline the goals for the year. She expands. I just kind of do bullet points, and I always keep it next to me. These are my goals for the year. And then I'll do like a high level goals. And then in my calendar, I will keep balance by color coding my exercise, my intentional time with my friends, or my time with my daughter. And then obviously my work is in there. And then I keep a budget, a spreadsheet, and I outline my financial goals. And I look at that multiple times during the week because it's like my check register of when I make payments on things. And if I have debt that I'm paying off, I'm paying attention to that and how much I'm bringing in my goals for the full year. And I go into like every area: sales, leadership, webcasts that I do with teams, on-sites, just basic consulting. And so that is how I really outline my goals. It's multiple ways. It's not like just I have a book and they're all in there. Mm-mm. They say you can download a goal setting app. I think that's great for people if it helps reduce stress and it can help hold yourself accountable. Practicing meditation. My morning jogs in nature and walk, I call that meditation. And then when things get stressful, meditation can always help you calm any anxiety that arises. But if you're concerned about blind ambition, it's okay to ask for support, right? There's all kinds of people out there. So I leave with you this quote by Jimmy Buffett. Forget that blind ambition and learn to trust your intuition. Thank you for tuning in to Snack Leadership. I hope you felt inspiration, motivation, and felt your mindset spark. Snack Leadership is recorded and produced by myself, Ali Camilletti, and music by Shireen Amini.